Welcome, it's Denome, and welcome to this crypto update. As you can see, Bitcoin has hit a fresh all-time high, $111,000, and now we are at price discovery. And this is usually when Bitcoin goes parabolic. The same thing happened here in 2024 when Bitcoin finally broke the previous all-time high and it entered into price discovery, and then Bitcoin price went up 40, even 50% almost from that previous high. Now the question is obviously where or how high can Bitcoin price go now, since we have broken this new high here. And there's basically three numbers that I'm currently looking at conservatively for the next stop. And let me show you the first area first. And the easy way to do it is simply to draw this line connecting this high here with this peak here and continue that line to the upside. And then you basically get a channel where Bitcoin price has been inside in during this move here. And when we do that, you can see that the price is basically 130 to 135 $100,000. And one another way to get to the same price level is if we do a Fibonacci extension from these previous highs here, and we connect with this $74,000 low. You can see that the 1.618 Fibonacci extension would take the Bitcoin price to $130,000. So that is another level. The next level that I'm looking for as well is this red area here, 2.618 Fibonacci extension. But this is a little bit, I'm not as strong to hope that Bitcoin price would go this high, because it would first of all break this line here, and also there's another number that I want you guys to look at, and let me show you how to draw that. So when we scroll a little bit further back and we do a Fibonacci extension from the 2021 all-time high, and we connect it with the 2022 bear market low, and then we do the extension here, you can see that the first 1.618 extension is exactly where Bitcoin had its basically local top here in 2025 and the end of 2024. But the next area is 2.618 Fibonacci extension, and that is $150,000, which is the number that I've been talking about in this channel for many months now. So those are basically the numbers 130 and 155, which I'm currently looking for in this bull run. Now you could make a case that Bitcoin would go to $400,000 or anything crazy like that. I've seen as many predictions as there are people on the planet. But if United States government actually starts to buy Bitcoin, like some of the individual states have already done, then obviously Bitcoin will go to $400,000 and even beyond that. But one thing you have to understand with Bitcoin is that it is quite large in market cap already. We're talking about trillions of dollars of value. And now that when you look at Bitcoin, it is more valuable than is the Taiwan dollar, and it's almost more valuable than is the Hong Kong dollar in market cap. Now, you could argue that Bitcoin is much more valuable than those currencies, but I'm just trying to draw a comparison so you understand what kind of a scale we are actually talking about here. So it is harder for Bitcoin to push even higher, even as the fundamentals are growing better and better. But one thing to understand with this current move here is that it was almost entirely spot market driven. So there was not really any funding rate extravaganza here. And even if we go and take a look at Google Trends here, and you look at the Bitcoin and you look at crypto over the last 5 years, what you can see here is that even as Bitcoin had this stealthy pump to the upside to this new all-time high, there's almost no interest in Bitcoin at all on Google. This means that retail investors are completely sidelined. They don't know what's going on, and they're not following the price of Bitcoin. They're not following the prices of crypto. But right now, when we zoom in for the last 90 days, you can see that Bitcoin is now gaining more interest in Google searches. And this is signaling that the retail investors are coming back. And also, what is interesting in this chart is that crypto still has no interest, which signals to me that when the money comes over to crypto, it has much more potential to go to the upside. So you can still front run the markets if you actually invest into altcoins. So from my perspective, altcoins seem to be a better play than investing straight into Bitcoin from these price levels. Now, if you do invest into altcoins, you have to keep in mind that the problem with altcoins is that there's almost unlimited amount of altcoins, and every single day a new altcoin is launched. So it is hard to invest into altcoins in long term. So if you do invest into altcoins, try to invest them into try to invest into them in short term, because there's just a new altcoin basically popping all the time, sucking up the liquidity from the altcoin market, while the big investors are pouring money into Bitcoin. But if you want to keep it safe, you can obviously just invest into Bitcoin, maybe use some leverage, and that's also perfectly fine. But for some altcoins that I want to highlight in this video, I will talk about them at the end of the video. But let's actually look at the Bitcoin fundamentals. So in my previous update, I had a hiccup on sentiment.net. So I want you to show you what I talked about in the previous update, which I unfortunately wasn't able to show, which was this massive drop here in the supply of Bitcoin on exchange reserves. So even as Bitcoin was nearing the all-time highs, we saw Bitcoin leaving exchanges, which meant that investors were buying Bitcoin on an exchange and pulling it out of exchange to put it into their wallets. And this is usually bullish, fundamentally speaking, because when this goes up, that means that people are depositing Bitcoin onto exchanges, and most likely they want to sell their Bitcoin on the exchanges. But when it's leaving exchanges, that is the opposite signal. So when I saw this, I was thinking, we might actually get the all-time high, even though I was hoping to get a pullback to the downside fast. Also, right now, within the last day, we are seeing the market cap of stablecoins increase by $1 billion as well. So that is fundamentally speaking good. When we look at the funding rates, there's no hype around Bitcoin on funding rates either, which means that there's probably more upside to be seen. And when we look at who has been selling Bitcoin, it is 1 to 100 Bitcoin holding wallets, this orange line here. And when they are selling, that is obviously not great, but these are not your market movers. Whereas the mega whales, the red line and the blue line, they basically haven't been selling into this new all-time high here, which is a good news in my opinion. So all in all, when we look at Bitcoin, I don't want to really focus on the news here. They are not really that relevant at the moment. I will talk about the news in the next crypto update once again. But right now we are in a price discovery, and Bitcoin, it might still do something different than what we saw here. Because here in late 2024, when Bitcoin basically broke the all-time high, it instantly went in this parabolic move. We could see something similar, that we continue the move to the upside relentlessly, because the momentum is there. But at some point, I do expect that we see a pullback, and that is obviously for buying. And if we see something like completely crazy, that we go immediately to like $155,000 within the next month, or within the next 2 months, we could see a significant pullback to the downside once again when big money leaves. And that would be completely fine as well. Basically, all the dips, in my opinion, for Bitcoin right now are for buying. And right now, if you are holding altcoins, there are plenty of good altcoins to be purchased. One of them is, in my opinion, LDO, which is a derivative of Ethereum. So if you are bullish on Ethereum, LDO is way undervalued compared to the price of Ethereum, like I showed in the previous update, and it has actually gone up since the last update, obviously. So that has been a nice move to the upside here, and I do expect it to actually at least go to $1.8 in a relatively short time period. And also another one that I haven't been talking about, but might have some good potential, is something called Stacks. So Stacks is a protocol. Let me get a proper chart for you guys on Coinbase. So Stacks is a protocol that allows smart contracts to run on Bitcoin blockchain, and it is a company based in the United States, so they may get some preferential treatment or some deals with the US government as well. And it has already gone 100% from these lows here, but compared to the 2024 high here, or the early 2024 high here, there's a lot of room to go to the upside. What I'm currently expecting XTX to do is to follow the price of Bitcoin at least, but it might go all the way down to $3, which would basically take it to this orange line, back to this orange line here. And also it would basically mean a double top here on this price. So $3 for STX would make a lot of sense in my opinion. At least it should go up with Bitcoin as Bitcoin continues to go to the upside. So STX is a beautiful play if you are bullish on Bitcoin. LDO is good if you are bullish on Ethereum. And then obviously Tron network, as the amount of stablecoins keeps growing and the stablecoin adoption and the regulation grows, the Tron network hasn't really made a significant move yet here on the price. So those are basically some altcoins to think about. There are many other altcoins, obviously, that you could also invest in. But all in all, I do believe that altcoins will be doing quite well in the coming months. And that's basically it for everything that I wanted to share in this video. It's a little bit shorter video because I don't want to mix up with the news, because the news is now that the Bitcoin has had the all-time high, and next up is most likely going to be altcoins. I guess I could take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart here as well. So it is slowing down here, and maybe it will still continue to grow to the upside here, and then we will see the altcoin season. Hard to say if we go straight down immediately. I would imagine that the momentum on Bitcoin goes to the upside first, and then eventually altcoins will catch up within a week or 2 weeks. So all in all, we are bullish on pretty much across the board. So if you want to trade these markets, if you want to buy Bitcoin, if you want to buy these altcoins, you have to have an exchange, and one of the best ones is Phemex.com, where you can get $4,800 in welcome rewards when you sign up using my link below or this referral code here. And one of the main features of Phemex is that you can do anything you can do on any other exchange, but the fees are extremely low, and you don't have to do KYC when you deposit capital or when you withdraw capital at first. So that could be beneficial for some of you guys. So all in all, thanks for watching this video. Consider subscribing to the channel, like the video, and even hop over to our free Discord group if you want to. The link is in the description as well. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.